Hello and welcome to another edition of 9 to 5 Live. The global football market is valued at 4 billion globally and it's still growing fast. An essential part of this business is footballer transfer financing. I wanted to understand more how this business works and its mechanism, and who better to ask than Samir Lakkis. Samir is the manager of a football lending fund and his fund does exactly that. Samir, hello.
Hi, Mark. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for joining us. It's good to see you. Could I
Thank
ask
you.
you to introduce yourself, please?
Sure. So thank you for inviting Mark, first of all. My name is Samir Lakkis, as you said. I'm the founder of a group called AIS. We are a group like plus 50 person with offices in Geneva, Zurich, Madrid, Bahamas, Panama, and Dubai. And we essentially we provide investment products to financial advisors. We started doing like derivatives, structured notes, structured products, bonds, and we switched to launch our own funds. And that's where we launched our own IS Global Sports Lending, the fund that is doing lending, as you said, on football transfers.
Thank you. So we can't talk specifically about your fund. What is interesting to talk about is the business itself and the opportunities that are provided by it. Could I just mention that none of this is investment advice. Any of the things we're going to discuss, people need to adapt anything they learn to their own personal circumstances. Coming back to the fund. So what does the fund do?
Okay, very easy. So what happened, how we started, okay? The fund, okay, we had you have a bunch of people willing to invest on sports, especially on football, but nobody knows how to invest. You've seen a lot of private equity funds investing in football, okay? But again, the sizes are quite big, it's quite concentrated. So we saw an opportunity of investing in football, okay, by just doing factoring on football transfers. And what is factoring on football transfers? It's super easy. It's whenever there has been a transfer, okay, and I'm gonna put a very easy example. Let's say I don't know, Boca Juniors sells a player to Porto, okay. Porto can agree to buy a player from Boca Juniors for 10 millions, let's say USD, okay, and they will pay 5 millions upfront, and they will pay the other 5 in installments in the future. What we do is we just buy these installments, okay, that Porto had to pay to Boca Juniors, okay, and we just advance this money. So it's like buying a receivable. Super easy on football transfers. There are a lot of details to discuss, but that's mainly what we do.
So in other words, you're comparing this to invoice financing, or in French it would be a facturage, I think. A facturage.
Exactly that.
But on the other hand, so normally invoice financing would be, say, for a month or 2 months or 3 months maximum. This is in fact very long-term invoice financing. How long does it go for?
That's right. You're completely right. It goes from 6 months to, I would say, a couple of years. Okay. Even we've saw 3 years, but the average, I would say it's 9 months, between 9 and 12 months. So it goes from 6 to 3 years. It's true, it's long, but it's bigger quantities, I think, than invoicing on 60 days, 90 days, okay? And that's what makes it attractive, because we can discount at bigger rates. I will explain you why. And it's bigger quantities, and it's extremely safe. I will also explain you why.
So what are the sizes of the deals then?
Okay, we have it goes from 1 million to we never enter even less than 1 million. It goes from 1 million, I would say, to 10 millions. And that's not the transaction of the transfer. It's just the pending part that it's pending to be paid. Okay, so let's say, for example, a transfer of 10 millions where 10 millions are still pending, okay, to be paid. That's where we can enter, for example. Okay.
So now in terms of how much are the football companies, the football clubs, how much are they willing to pay for this kind of financing?
That's a very good question. So we try to target, okay, football clubs that are in countries where there is less access to financing, okay? So we will go to clubs and that are net exporters of players, okay? So let's say clubs in Argentina, in Brazil, in Colombia, in East Europe, okay, Romania, I don't know, Serbia, for example, Poland, okay? Why we go to these countries? Because they have less access to financing. Okay, they have like smaller, like let's say banking system. Okay, so they have less access to financing, and we charge them like, let's say, like a rate of like between 10 and 15%. Okay, and what happens, you would say like, yeah, of course you go to these countries, but there is like much more risk. But like the risk actually, it's like from the club from which like the receivable is, like, so for example, when we the example I gave you, okay, like Boca Juniors is selling like one player to Porto, okay, of course I will like buy the receivable to Boca Juniors, okay, so applying a discount like to an Argentinian club, but at the end the club repaying me, it's Porto, which is a Portuguese club, okay, so at the end, I have like a Portuguese risk, okay, like by buying a receivable like with a discount of an Argentinian club, okay. So that's why I try to go like to countries where there's less access to financing and like having a receivable from like a top country, like so only European countries and the MLS in the US.
That must be surely where most of the volume of this is happening. This is going from, say, South American countries or African countries towards Europe. Am I
That's
right?
right. That's right. Completely. Completely. Because like these clubs, like in Latin America, Africa, Eastern Europe, like are net exporters, and like the European clubs are buyers of players. So that's why like that's a normal flow.
And therefore, if one was to do their due diligence on this kind of risk, they're not really doing it on the African club or the South American club. They have to do it on the European club if they're the buyer of the player, because they're the
Completely.
ones paying the transfer fee.
Completely, completely. And like we're buying the receivable and we sign like a three-party agreement, okay, between the selling club, the buying club, okay, so the South American club, let's say, the European club and us. And like the European club signs directly that they will repay us because we bought the receivable and they will pay us directly. So at the end, you're completely right. We have like the risk on the European club.
You're obviously in close contact with the big European clubs who are doing this. Is this the market that is growing?
It is a market that is growing a lot because like, and we even like contacted FIFA, okay, because like we wanted to check regulation and everything. Like that there were some funds in the 2000s, okay, like that were buying players, okay, that's called third party ownership, and FIFA is very strict on this, like a fund cannot own like a player, the rights of a player, okay. But we contacted FIFA to explain them this, okay, what we wanted to do, and they even like we're happy about this, because at the end it's just adding like some financing on the football market, like so it's making like a healthier, like let's say like football market, okay. So they were super happy with that, and it's a market that is growing, like clubs are getting used to these financings, okay. So it's a market is growing, and we're seeing it like over the years.
So in fact, yes, you're oiling the cogs of the wheel. You're allowing this process to work and to develop. In fact,
Completely.
Samir, thank you very much indeed. I think that's all we got time for today. And thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Mark.
Bye bye.